We're standing in one of the only high-end communities here in Northwest Meridian, Lincoln Creek.
And it's not just about the homes, it's about the amazing amenities in this small, charming community that usually you would only find this type of clubhouse and amenities in a huge master plan community.
Today, we're gonna tour two amazing homes, both with distinct layouts and features, and show you the incredible clubhouse that I was shocked when I first saw it. All built by one of the top builders here, Biltmore Company.
We're gonna take a look at two Biltmore homes, starting with one that's a little bit smaller, more affordable, and then ending with our favorite one in here that is a little bit bigger for a really amazing price for what you get here in the community.
Whether you're planning a move, investing in real estate, or just checking out what's new here in Meridian, make sure to stick around because this community has the look, the location, the amenities, and the homes for just about everybody. In this first one, we're gonna take a look at, I mean, really all of these, but the outside we wanted to really showcase first. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. This whole community has that Instagram-worthy feel.
Yeah, we were talking about it coming in, but even though it's all one builder, it does have that charm that you love in a community, and you guys are going to see that. But first, want to talk about the channel. Here at Boise Real Estate Insights, we obviously focus on real estate, but we're more focused on those of you who are local, providing updates, and also just providing you guys value. We're not always going to be doing the videos of the big, beautiful homes that get lots of views. We actually want to inform you guys on what's happening in the Boise area relating to real estate.
Yeah, exactly. And even with the changes over the, throughout the market, but even within builders themselves, whether they're improving their homes, maybe they're downgrading their homes. So for those of you that are local that may have been here 10, 15, 20 years, the homes we're going to tour and show you today might be completely different than the homes you expected a few years ago.
100%.
So yeah, like to just provide as much info and keep you guys up to date as much as possible. And of course, we are actual agents on the ground working with clients. I have a client buying a home in this community right now. So of course, if you have any questions, reach out. We're here to chat. Whether you're actually, actively looking to buy or sell, or just want to stay up to date, let's grab coffee and get to know each other.
Yeah, we're more than just transactionals, right? We want to actually build relationships, sit down with you guys, even if it's not in your plans, but you want to sit down with coffee with me and Jesse and just chat real estate plans for your 2-year, 5-year, 10-year. We're happy to do that, and we just want to build relationships with those of you guys living in the valley and possibly moving here. But now get into this, into a builder we've never featured.
Oh, that's
on
true,
the channel.
huh?
Yeah, Biltmore, we've been in communities that they build in, but we've never actually shown their homes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, excited to show everybody Biltmore.
Yeah, and we're going to show you two examples. This whole community is all built by Biltmore. So they have, let's say a dozen, it could be less or more, but anyways, a handful of different floor plans, and you can custom build too. So this is a great example of showing you what they can do, kind of what their style and design looks like. And I wanted to start out front just because this entryway, I mean, these aren't things you see in homes in this price range that often, where you have the grand vaulted ceiling, glass door framed with 2 glass panes on each side, and these 2 to 3 little steps up. I mean, this is why we claim this area being very Instagram worthy. I mean, this looks like a Pinterest board.
Yeah, and they'll see it in a lot of the drone shots too. But like even some of the rock accents, and even though it's one builder, they have a lot of different elevations. So the front of the house, nice little wood accents. So it's cute in here. And then when we show them the community center too, that kind of just adds to the charm. Plus you have the little alley load homes. Those are always charming. They kind of look like more of your North End kind of older style homes that you don't really find too much in new construction.
Lower maintenance, but awesome inside, same builder, same quality. And that the clubhouse I mentioned at the very beginning, when I first came out here, many months ago and brought my client out here, I was blown away. I was like, this is seriously the clubhouse for this community and this small of a community. So I'm excited to take a look at that. But we'll pop in and take a look at this first home.
Yeah, just so you guys know where we're at in Meridian. So we are right by the new highway that's going to go from Emmett to the interstate. We're North Meridian, so Costco's 1.5 miles down the road. And then of course, Fred Meyer, Winco, and all of those other things in Meridian are over there. But we're in the newer section, so anything that direction or that direction going west, it's still farmland. Obviously, eventually it'll be houses, but just to give you guys an idea where at in Meridian Lincoln Creek is.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we go into the home. But.
Yeah, and this particular home, we'll show it when we get to the backyard. And Biltmore is definitely known for their landscaping, which we're going to show as well. It does back to that highway extension. So, pros and cons with that. This is obviously the very edge of the community. Everything else is going further away that direction. So for some, it might be a pro or a con. You have access just at one main street, north or south, to get to that highway. But also, it might be slightly close to your backyard. You might get a little bit of road noise.
Yep. Yeah. And now that we're in the house, get to show you. Biltmore is in this section that me and Jesse call like the mid-luxury, mid-tier builders, right? So you're not gonna have the microwave like the peasants above the stovetop, but you also get like the real wood mantle accents, the little bit higher end brick or tile, whichever house we're in. But I feel like Biltmore does do a lot of this older tile, or not tile, but brick look, right, with the wood accents. So just a little bit there, and then you get the higher ceilings, the higher doorways in a lot of their houses. The higher end finishes, you have the 6-inch trim around the house. So just pointing out a few things to keep in mind with Biltmore. They are a higher end builder, but in this community, it's not a crazy price. Correct, which it could be. Especially for lot sizes and yards as big as this one. And again, some of the details, this is an available home. This is not a model home. It is staged, but you can kind of see behind the couch. You have some additional trim work down here, this wall of windows. So that's where, again, for the value and the quality of home in this location in Meridian, this home size and lot size, these prices are actually, really good. No, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and then getting into the kitchen, very similar to a lot of these mid builders, right? Berkeley, Tresidio. A lot of them all have this very similar style. There's only a handful that go out of this, what is in style, which is more of the natural wood look with the white countertops and accents. But of course, get the stovetop. Yeah, get the Bosch range, and then the really nice, wood wrapped kitchen hood vent. So a lot of the homes and other builders in this range, again, like Brady mentioned, are going to be fairly similar to this. I think where Biltmore could differentiate outside of course, home size and price and things like that, is some of the extra little touches that, again, make you this a little bit more Instagram worthy. Like you can see, again, this isn't a custom home. This is an available spec home. They add these extra little decor items. So you have the shiplap on the dining room wall here. That some other builders might not add. Of course, you could do that if you're custom building, but to have it planned out and ahead of time, they have a really good design team, and I feel like that's kind of what sets apart this builder and then potentially this community. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an accent shiplap wall in any move-in ready home. You see it in models or you see it in homes that other builders build, but for a move-in ready home, you definitely don't see that. You got the double oven Bosch over here, and then where's the microwave? Microwave's in the pantry. There it is, the fancy pantry microwave. So so you're living amongst the kings when you have the microwave in the pantry. And then you even get the countertops with the outlets in here, which is nice. Always love having that feature in these types of homes, so you can put all your stuff that looks cluttered in the counter space into the pantry. So nice to have that. And then over here to the right, and then we'll head into the backyard, because the landscaping out here is actually quite a few steps above other builders, but you do get a little office in this floor plan, particularly right off the kitchen. Nothing crazy, but for most people, very, very usable, and nice that you do get a smaller room for your office and you don't waste an entire room. Right? And what I actually really like, so this floor plan, as Brady and I went through, we're like, well, it's not really our favorite. It's 22 to 2,300 square feet, and upstairs it's a little bit compact. But the functionality for a 2,200 square foot home, still having 3 full bedrooms, this office, and I like this right here off the main level, especially for families, because it has a door. So if you aren't working from home, like this is a perfect kids play area where all your toys can be here instead of in the main living room. Close the door. And hide it from everybody. Exactly. Yeah. Make a mess. We'll clean it up next week. So there's features with this floor plan that actually work really well for certain people. But yeah, again, being a 2,200 square foot home, because of the tall ceilings and how they've designed it, it might be a little compact upstairs, but you have a lot of living space. For sure. But outside. In this, currently this highway is not open, so they're finishing up. So obviously it does not have any road noise right now, but you can kind of see just over the fence line, another, I don't know,
70 yards, 100 yards maybe is where the highway would actually start. But amazing, landscaping. This is a significant upgrade. Obviously, not all the home sites will have this much, but going through their purchase and sale process, landscaping is a big piece where they do intentionally design it. Their landscaper comes out here and picks like, okay, this plant, this rock, we're gonna not just have this basic square yard, where they have a little bit more design touch in their landscaping, which does truly, again, help set their home apart in terms of Instagram appeal.
No, and we did make the joke that, well, I don't even think it's a joke, but they did give you, I think, more trees in these ones because of the highway back there. So not necessarily standard in all of the homes in Lincoln Creek, but even to have the extra bushes that are in other houses, most builders give you 1 tree. And then they give you 2 bushes in the front. Whereas with Biltmore, you have a little bit more landscaping, which is great, right?
Yep, and sometimes they might even have rock features, or again, they don't have just this perfect square, which doesn't happen in nature. They actually cut and design the grass and the rockways so it's visually appealing and not just a backyard.
No, for sure. Yeah, the covered patio is nice too.
Definitely
bigger. And then we walked past a few features in the downstairs area. So one of the other things that's nice about Biltmore is pretty much every house in here had a 3-car garage. There's not any 2 cars unless you're in the alley load. So we'll walk into the garage because that is big. And then of course we didn't show you guys really the half bath that is right here for entertaining. That way you don't have to go upstairs to go to the bathroom, which is really important in a 2-story home.
Yeah, we walked by it because I actually didn't even realize.
I
mean, I felt like it was there, but didn't even look. Yeah, it's kind of tucked in right underneath the stairway. But yeah, this garage, I mean, you can't tell from the front, but it goes all the way back. So this is a 4-car garage in a 2,200 square foot home.
Which never happens, really. For 2,200 square feet with a builder like this at the price point that it's at. Really nice. And you get the finished garage too. So again, another key point with most of these mid-luxury builders or mid-tier builders is usually you get a finished garage. And then the other one is the conditioned crawl space, which we've talked about it a number of times, but that is a significant upgrade. Helps keep the flow from the crawl space into the regular air flowing continuously, which gives you a level temperature in your crawl space, and you don't really have to maintain it or worry about it, which is nice. So.
And again, it's the small things where you're trying to compare between the 5 to 10 different builders around this price range and quality and style. It's a little thing. So you have a window included in the garage. You have the upgraded LED lighting already. Again, these are only a couple $100 differences, but who wants to move into a brand new home and be like, I have this project and this project and this project. Let's just have it all included and not just have your single little light bulb in the garage.
100%. And with that too, before we head to the upstairs, Biltmore and these mid-luxury builders out here in North Meridian, there's really only one other community that you have this caliber of builder, and that's in Quartet, right down the street. But there's only a few homes left in there. They're going to extend it out. But it's nice to know that these are really the only 2 options in North Meridian until you get a little bit closer to Star. Then you start getting into more. But North Meridian's pretty much built out. And at least right now, Toll Brothers, Hubble Homes, CBH Hayden Homes, a lot of the starter home builders, they're kind of taking over this area. So nice to have another option with a caliber of builder like this. So,
especially for new construction, because we work with resale people who are buying existing homes, or even sellers who are selling existing homes in this area. So other Paramount, Bridge Tower, all those North Meridian communities, they're extremely popular and in demand. They're almost their own market segment because there isn't a lot like this in this area right now. So for new construction, like you mentioned, Quartet, Lincoln Creek are really your 2 options.
No, 100%. Now let's head upstairs, show you guys this house, and then of course, stay to see this community center. It's absolutely outstanding. The rest of the charm, and then we'll go up a step a little bit in the second house, and we're gonna just talk more about some of the investment potential, some of the benefits and pros of buying in this area of Meridian in a community like this, to give you guys more insights other than just the homes and just the community. So, but let's head upstairs first.
Cool. So we're upstairs now, and that, like I was mentioning earlier, it's a little bit compact, but again, it's a 2,200 square foot home that still fits all these different bedrooms. So you can see we're not necessarily too wide in the hallway. There isn't like a landing area or bonus room, but each bedroom, and of course the master bedroom we'll show next, very spacious, really good use of space. This, excuse me, having the transom window here in the guest bedroom, so tons of natural light on the second story and a really good sized guest bedroom. So sure, they may have saved it in some of the saved space in some of the walking areas, but they definitely utilized it in these bedrooms. Again, probably a mirror image, seems about the exact same size, has 2 windows, really good lighting in here as well. And then the bathroom, it would be nice, and this is where builders, it's tough, they go back and forth. It would be really nice to have 2 sinks, but honestly, some people would prefer the extra storage because there isn't really like a linen closet in this bathroom. So in this case, they went with 1 sink, have the extra drawers, but do have this huge oversized tub. So if you're a bath person or you have multiple kiddos that are taking baths, I think that's gonna be their favorite part of the home.
Yeah, that bath is sweet.
Yeah,
and then from there you have laundry room right here upstairs. Dude, actually is nice that they added this big window right here to get you a ton of extra lighting. And it's even little things. You can see how wide these window sills are, which just gives it that little extra touch. And then there's something in the master that is another little accent piece you guys kind of got to see downstairs, but is one of the touches that Biltmore gives. But master, high ceilings upstairs, which is absolutely outstanding. You get a really big master in this house. And then this right here, you guys saw it a little bit downstairs, but there was a couch blocking it. But these are another little touch that Biltmore does that no other builder in this range I really see do that. And so more of those things that add up. And in this build category, there's very minute details other than the major price differences and locations that make the difference. So it's little things like that to touch out, and huge window up here in the master.
Yeah, and
let in a lot of natural light.
Yeah, and it's funny because everyone's different and all our clients are different. Some absolutely gravitate towards the aesthetics, like this little accent piece here. Some maybe are indifferent to that and you really are just focused on the functionality, the size, the price and all that. And that's where, we see it on all ends. We try to come out here and tour it ahead of time for you guys, but also when we're working together in person, we can kind of point those things out to what value is most important to each particular person and help you kind of compare those. Because when you come here for the first weekend, or maybe you live here and you're first shopping, when you go see 5, 10, 15 homes over a weekend, it can be hard to really compare. So that's where, we do this every day. We can really help out and say, well, you loved this piece or you didn't like this piece, and hopefully give you like a truly informed, confident decision in terms of which home or which builder or community you're looking at.
No, 100%. Yeah. And after the first few houses, it's pretty easy to gauge what's actually important to you, because anytime you're buying a house, especially, you want to hit on the things that actually matter to you. There's things you can change. There's some things that maybe you can change, but they're still important to certain people. So then it's shifting and looking. And so hopefully these videos are helpful to kind of do the pre-scouting so that you don't have to go look at 50 homes in a day. They all bleed together and you forget everything. So now we're in the master bathroom. You got the 2 vanities over here with the frosted window.
Yeah, kind of a different setup. And again, this one, maze is probably too strong of a word, but it is a little bit cut up. But again, it's a small footprint, 2,200 square foot home. So they did what they could to make it work, and nothing bad. It's just not what we always see.
Yeah, it's unique.
Yeah, for sure. But you have your dual vanities, your wood wrapped mirrors, which is awesome. Really nice light fixtures. In this case, just the walk-in shower. So that's where that oversized bathtub comes into play. There is no bathtub in the master bedroom, which is pretty darn typical for a 2,200 square foot home nowadays. But yeah, full tile, glass doors.
Yeah, not Brady approved.
We're showing too many fancy homes. You're getting too picky.
Hey, no. When we get affordable, I take into account everything, right? Yeah. Toilets over here, and then
and then the closet, kind of tucked in back here. Really, awesome windows, really good built-ins. Maybe a hair small, but again, I'm trying to get more reasonable, just because this home isn't you know, a gigantic home, but it feels like it. So you're expecting like this really big closet.
Yeah.
But for a 2,200 square foot home, I don't think that's going to be a complaint or a driving factor for someone to say no to, you know, everything else this has to offer.
Yeah, and I feel like part of that is we are in a higher end builder, so there is a little
Sure.
bit of a higher standard. But then the second part of it is when you drive around this community, the houses look huge. So you do walk into this house thinking, oh, it looks like a 3,000 square foot house.
That's true.
Because they just have that grand, charming look. But then when you walk inside, it's a 2,200 square foot home. And so, yeah, got to keep that in mind. But now we can head over to the community center, talk more about the amenities. And I almost forgot the price, right? On this house?
Yeah. Yep. So $699, $699, 2,200 square feet, 3-bed, 2.5 bath with the office downstairs, and definitely finished to where you're not coming in here and you're not adding a thing.
No. So then we'll head over to the community center, show you how absolutely outstanding it is that adds to this charm and just attractiveness for Lincoln Creek. And then show you another home that is different, so you can see different floor plans and give you a whole new perspective on Biltmore. But let's head over to the community center.
So we're out here in front of this amazing clubhouse or community center. We've talked about it several times in the first home, and I think we mentioned it, but we want to reiterate, this is for a total future of 150 home community. So from, you'll see in the drone shots, the entry monument to the size and quality of the pool and the clubhouse and the amenities for 150 homes, this is something we'd see in like a 600 or a 700 home community. So really when we go inside and you'll see the scope of this thing, this is almost your own because you're sharing it with significantly less people than really any other community.
Yeah, it's not going to be completely packed in the summertime, right? Like other communities in North Meridian, like Spurwing, right? That's a 500 home community, and we've heard that, you know, the pool can get packed in the summer. So even just the pool alone, because that's the amenity that most everybody is going to be using.
I would say so, and that's what most people are drawn to, but it's also because a lot of communities in this price range don't have a clubhouse that is actually this cool and this usable. So in the winter, spring, fall, because really summer you might have whatever 4 months of pool time. To use this space all year long and actually have it available so you can rent it out, or you can reserve it for parties, you know, birthday parties, baby showers, bridal showers, Super Bowl maybe. They might have something planned for the community for something like that. But to use this all year long, I mean, to find a pool, great. We know a lot of people want communities with that, and this is a great pool. But this just is on, you know, adds on top of it.
And then there's another little special feature in the community center that we're excited to show you guys. For me personally, it's exciting, but we'll see how many of you guys think it's actually exciting.
We live in Idaho, and once we, I think it'll be exciting for most, to be honest. But again, it's huge. This space is massive, really tall ceilings. I mean, overall, this building's just really cool, and again, continues that theme of Biltmore wanting things to look aesthetically pleasing, probably a little over the top, even grand. But still super usable, and it's not like, you know, it's open right now, and this community is about half full. We've been here for maybe 30 minutes. Not a single person has actually come in and used this clubhouse currently. So truly, you could come in here and, you know, have this as your second living space.
Right. And even right here, like the outdoor space with the fireplace. If you don't have it at your house, or you do build or buy one of the alley load or smaller homes in here, it's nice to just walk across the street, come hang out at the fire, be outside, jump in the pool. So yeah, a cool community for something, or a cool community center for something this small. And then, I mean, the other amenities out here is really just this, right? There's not a ton of walking spaces. You do get the pickleball court, you do get a park. In their next phase, they are gonna have more green space, so more, you know, kind of a park area to hang out. But other than that, the community center is what you get in this community, but it's much more than enough for a community this size. Right?
Exactly, and you know, you've seen the park and plenty of green space, the little kids tot lot as we call it. So you have all what you'd expect, and then a little bit over the top, especially, you know, 100. Really, there's other communities that are this size. They don't even have a pool or a clubhouse to have all of this and be one of the best clubhouses, in my opinion, that I've seen in Meridian outside of ultra luxury communities like Spurwing Golf Course. This is pretty incredible.
No, for sure. And so keep it quick, but want to show you one of my favorite features in this community center. So there's obviously the pool, the fireplace. You can rent this place out. You can have parties, but
go ahead.
As a dog lover and golden retriever owner, this is what I thought was really cool. I haven't actually seen this in a community center.
Not at all.
So you have a place to wash your dog. If you feel confident enough to groom your dog, you do have a place where you can do that, and then you just got to clean up. But it's nice not to have to drive to a groomer or a dog wash. You just have it right in your community. That way, if you go to the river, which is just right down the street, you can come in here, wash your dog, and then go home, and he doesn't have to stink up your house and smell like Boise River water.
Or use your brand new bathtub or shower that you just bought a brand new home, and you have your furry dog clogging it up.
Exactly,
so, really cool little feature there that just adds to this awesome space for the clubhouse. And again, this is definitely was a highlight for one of my clients. And then when I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, we gotta show this, because not a lot of people have heard of Lincoln Creek. And if you have, they don't list this stuff on Zillow. Like you just look at the homes, you might have a picture of it, but to come out here and actually understand what the amenities provide, I mean, it can make a big difference.
No, for sure. Yeah, a big selling point. And now we'll head over to home number 2 to give you more homes to take a look at. And then we'll also talk a little bit more about HOA, things in this area, things to watch out for, and what this area has, some of the benefits of just this general area, not just the community itself. So let's head over to home number 2. Okay, we're out here in front of home number 2. Want to show you guys again some of this charm, right? So this one has rock in front, more grand, and this is what we're talking about, where these houses just feel big.
They're
have the big
all
steep.
so tall.
Yeah, huge steeps on the roofs. And then wanted to point you over here too, to these homes on this side of the street. You get RV bays in here. They do have some lots that can accompany an RV garage, which is nice. I know a lot of people want that, especially if you're moving or upscaling in size. But again, more brick, different styling. You have more natural rock over there. You've got the white brick there. Just to show you guys a little bit of the style in here.
Yeah, this is a community you drive through, or maybe you're on social media, you see other agents, posting stuff that's not as informational. Driving through communities that are taking, community tours just out their window. This would be one of those communities, because every single home has slightly different features in design, but they're all beautiful.
No, for sure.
And even go ahead.
We're gonna say the same thing. Like even little things like these lights, like just slightly upscale. I love the glass with the black trim.
And I was actually gonna mention, so the landscaping again, you have, I don't know, let's say 10 bushes between this side and that side. You don't really get that with a lot of builders. They might just put a strip of grass, maybe one tree, because the HOA requires it, and a couple bushes. So, again, a little bit extra touches, a little more upscale. This is, like we mentioned in the beginning, a high-end community in Northwest Meridian, and one of the few, if not the only one or two, but some great value in this particular home being larger than the first one. I think just around 2,700 square feet. So we'll be able to show you a lot more home in this, office space. It does have the open doorway. So this really would be a good office space, sitting area, whatever you need it for, right off the entry.
Yeah, and then having the master downstairs is nice. The upstairs is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So excited to show you guys that upstairs. And then this wide hallway, right? So a little bit wider than the other house where you had the stairs in line, and it kind of shortens that hallway. So it feels like a little bit more of a grand entrance. And then your garage is there. We won't really go into there just because it is the same style as the last house we looked at, so it is a 3-car over there. And then right here you have another half bath with like a little mudroom area, because the entrance to the garage is across the hallway. So get the mudroom area with the half bath, and then it bleeds into your laundry room, which is downstairs in this house versus the last one, which is upstairs. And in this one you do get the counter space, you still get the backsplash, you get plenty of cabinetry in here as well.
Yeah, you get the sink, again, more cabinetry. It is on the main level, which is where the master bedroom is, but you do have all the guest rooms upstairs, which there's some cool features up there we'll show also. But yeah, very similar kitchen setup. Right now, the hood vent lid is just off. They're replacing that, but in any, other than that, very, very similar. The dual wall ovens, really good sized walk-in pantry, high-end cabinetry, soft close throughout. So all the things you would expect and really, require for a home of this level. So nothing too crazy or different than the first home here.
Yeah, and the main goal of this house is to just give you guys another floor plan, a look at some of the stylings, like even these built-in cabinets and cabinetry.
Yeah, I love that.
By the fireplace. That didn't have it at the last house, to give you guys another look. And they went with more of the black rock in here instead of the brick.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, the built-ins are great, just like the other one, large wall of windows. And in this particular floor plan, it has covered patio the length of the home, which is really cool. So you do actually have room for a barbecue setup and some chairs, some lounge area. So really big covered patio space. Yeah,
and then nice having the master downstairs. I know if you don't want or need a single story, you almost need the master downstairs if you're going to buy a 2-story. So nice that they have it in here. And again, more accent walls that you don't usually get in other move-in ready homes, right? You get it when you build with other builders, but for move-in ready homes, this is not typical. So nice to have it, and even little touches like outlets in the floor down there to kind of keep it hidden. And then this bleeds into the master bath, which is your more standard master bath, especially comparing it to the last house with 2 vanities, bathtub, and then your shower right here.
Yeah, and because this home is larger, there's obviously space for the separate bathtub, separate walk-in shower, and a closet that would be more expected for this range and price level, because this does have a lot more square footage. But realistically, all of that, the main level is great. I honestly think the biggest selling point for this floor plan is the second story.
I agree.
So great, awesome stuff here by Biltmore. Upstairs is where I think this particular floor plan would set itself apart from maybe another one that's in the same size square footage. So we'll wander back through and then pop upstairs and show you guys that space next. So before we tour the rest of the upstairs area, wanted to talk through obviously the location like we mentioned and why this area has been a huge hotspot and continues to be, really just with everything going on around it.
Yeah, I mean, I literally grew up a mile down here, went to high school out here, went to middle school out here, went to elementary school out here, right? And back then it was obviously...
Did you pass all those though?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Hey, I was above a 3.5. Yeah, not a 4.0. I'm not a straight A student. I was too worried about sports and probably girls
that's
back
fair.
there.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, great area growing up. Obviously, it's a lot bigger now. Like as an example, Lincoln Creek, a Waihee High School is pretty much in your backyard. You could walk to the high school if you really wanted to. It's not far at all, and that's the new hot high school, I guess, especially when it comes to sports and education. So you're close to that. But even just growing up in this area, there's so many family-friendly communities out here. The Oaks across the street. That's where I grew up. The Bridge Tower that we talked about earlier. Loxo Falls, and then all of the things that have come within this area, the Costco and all of the restaurants, possibly an In-N-Out coming into that Costco area too. But it's still growing, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
North Meridian, this is not the end of it. It already has all of the amenities. We're getting the district at 10 Mile down the street, which is going to be like 4 times the size of the village. So that'll be 2 miles down the road.
Yep.
You're going to have the highway coming in too right here.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people's decisions, or at least location decisions, are based off of commute. So one, this area already is super popular, high demand, not as many homes, especially high-end homes like this community. When that comes in, that just shortens the commute time for those that are heading, whichever direction. That's going to bring even more demand, and obviously the supply, like we mentioned, is not really there. So the foreseeable future, Northwest Meridian, in terms of real estate, is going to continue to grow and appreciate, just like it has in the past, with all the surrounding communities being extremely popular resale homes, even in a market like this. So
yeah, there's a reason this area is one of the top places in the whole valley, and especially with that highway. For those of you, like maybe you live in Boise right now, South Boise, West Boise, and you're worried, Well, if we move to North Meridian, you know, it's going to be a 45-minute drive with traffic. Well, that highway is going to cut that pretty much in half, because a lot of the commute in Meridian is you're stopped at every stoplight.
At Eagle, on Eagle Road.
Yeah, it's rough. So living in a community like this, I mean, you're literally, obviously the first house we looked at was backed up to the highway, but they're going to have an exit right there off of U-Stick where you can pull out of your community, hop on the highway, and you're to the interstate in 5 minutes. So,
and you mentioned district at 10 Mile, which is a little bit further south from where we're at, but what's been growing is that kind of chinned-in little community or commercial center, Orchard Park being what it's called, but now the name's finally coming back out again. Tons of new amenities out there. Obviously the shopping like Winco, things like that, the Meridian Library, but also a lot of brand new or newer restaurants, retail, just up the road.
Yeah, 2 miles away. So, because for even those of you who are local, that if you don't come out to North Meridian that often, especially if you're living in Boise, you just don't know about those things, and especially with where Lincoln Creek's at, it's 2 miles away. So lots of things, about just the general area that are great with Lincoln Creek. And now we'll jump into the second story. This is favorite part of the house, we'll save for the end. But
so on this half of the second story, you have 2 of your guest rooms. We'll walk through here again, nothing crazy, still the high ceilings, which is nice. This particular one has a really good sized walk-in closet, but really, you know, just a good sized guest bedroom. The one on this side, slightly different. No walk-in closet, but it has the vaulted ceiling. So your kids, if you have 2 picking between rooms, they'll have to rock, paper, scissors for which feature they like most. A really good sized guest bath, dual vanity, and I also really like the separating door. So someone could be using the toilet, taking a bath shower, while the other one can be in here utilizing the sink. So it's nice to have that separation. And then as we head this way,
and I'm standing over here to give you guys perspective. Because it is a huge
bonus room
with the vaulted ceilings, which is nice because it makes it feel open. And then you have these huge windows to get in a lot of that natural light.
Exactly.
And this particular home obviously might have not the best view with these garages out your window. But you can build this floor plan in any of their lots. And so you can pick a floor plan that these windows are facing west towards the mountains or south towards the Owyhee Mountains, or even just some of the fields around here. So obviously not this home in particular with the best view, but and you do have that opportunity.
And you can kind of tell again just how small this community really is, because you can literally see and walk to the pool or the clubhouse center, and that's because again this is only going to be 150 total homes. So wherever you're at, you're in walking distance to the center. The community center, which is literally in the center in this case, but really, really good sized bonus flex room. And then this is kind of a hidden feature, I would say. A true junior suite up here too. So this 4th bedroom, vaulted ceiling, a little bit bigger,
and then
with
you get
a full bathroom.
Which is absolutely outstanding. To have. Because even if, now we're going to talk about the kids fighting over rooms. This is the one that you would want to fight over, but.
This one, they might not get unless you have 3. It's like, nope, sorry guys.
Or
that would be unfair.
The strongest one that can
that's
tell
true.
them what's up. But love this feature in the upstairs. Always having a junior suite is always nice. And there's another community too in Meridian that is similar called Sagara. And it's literally Orchard Park, Winco, Fred Meyer. It's in Orchard Park. So you can literally see Winco out of your community. It's one of the only true walkable communities. You could live in Sagara and walk to everything and really never have to get in your car if you really wanted to. So watch this video here. Me and Jesse tour that community, and it is another mid-luxury builder. So one of the only 3 communities in North Meridian that has that. But this is a new builder to Boise that is coming in hot.
They're killing it.
I'm loving what they're doing. So go check that video out. Look forward to meeting you guys.